Hello, this is part 9 of the MEANJS tutorial. So now that we've gone through the process of creating an app from front to back, we'll now go over end-to-end testing. What we're going to need to do first is create a new directory in our forum module called E2E. There's no generator for end-to-end tests yet, but there may be one implemented in the future. But for this tutorial, we're going to just create all the files ourselves. So after creating the directory, let's create our test file. We're going to call it forum.e2e.test.js. And first, let's put strict. Put our first describe block here. To tests, and the syntax with the describe blocks are the same as the other tests we've written before. So first, we're going to test navigating to the forum when signed out. So we'll say it should redirect to sign-in page when going to the forum page. So using this browser object, we can simulate going to the forum page like this. And these tests will be run on port 3001 instead of 3000 like the original development server. After we navigate to the page, we can write our assertion. So we expect the browser current URL to be and this is the sign-in page. And we can also just copy this and write one for the create page as well. And before we run this, we should open our protractor config. So here, these will run all the tests from all the modules, but since these will take a bit of time, we'll just have it run the forum module tests. And here we can also write specific configurations, like what browser we want to run our tests on. So this is the config for this specific environment, and we can write our own in our else block like this. So we can have it run on Chrome instead. Now when we run this using grunt test E2E, you'll see it open a browser for us, and it quickly just went to those pages specified in our it blocks, and it just checked whether the URL was correct. and those tests passed. So now we can test the function of the forum when we're signed in. So first we're going to need to sign in, of course. And since these tests actually are run on a clean database with none of our previously entered information, we need to actually sign up a brand new account. So to do that, we're going to need to go to the sign up page. And then we're going to have it input all of our sign-in information. So let's make a test user credentials variable with all of our information in it. So we need a first name, last name, and email, and a username, and of course the password. This can just be made up information as long as it meets all of the requirements. And then we're going to get each of the sign-in elements by their model. So credentials dot first name is the bound angular model. If you take a look at that sign-in page, and we just need to send keys for the user credentials we just created. And then we need to press the submit button. So to hit the submit button, we can use element by CSS, and it's going to be a button with type submit. So you can grab elements by their ng model or by their CSS elements, and not send keys, but we're going to click the button, and we should expect the browser's current URL to go back to the home page. So let's check if it signs in or signs up and signs in for us. So you can see it typing in all our information, and it looks like it did complete and sign in. So now we should be able to access the forum page. So we're going to try to navigate there with the same browser.get function. And we should expect there to be an element. We can grab it by the tag name. We're going to try to get the text of the header element. And we expect it to be forum. And we can do the same for the create page. And for this page, our header is an H3 element. I believe it says create new post. Let's check if the text is right. You have to match the case, and we should be able to run our test again, and they should pass. And all our tests have passed so far. So let's continue. So let's see, we should be able to see an error when we submit a blank title. So since we're already on the create page, we can just get the text element. We're just going to input some text and try to submit this using the same CSS click. And we expect to see an element. We can use the error text class we created earlier, and the text should say post title is required. Let's check if that's correct. Yes, it is. We can also try to create the post. And it looks like we're going to need to continue writing the rest of our tests in our next video. So I'll see you there.